Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM. My name is Bish Isedu. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. New Patriotic Party Flagbearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia insists he will abolish some taxes if elected president. But concerns have been raised as to why that cannot be done now that he is a chair of the economic management team. Also, in this bulletin, opposition National Democratic Congress NDC Flagbearer John Mahama lashes out at appointees of Akufo-Addo's administration who he says are attempting to extricate themselves from the economic mess the country has been plunged into. Later in this program, following threats by organized labor to hit the streets, the government, through the Finance Ministry, is directing Electricity Company of Ghana and Northern Electricity Distribution Company to suspend implementation of proposed 15% VAT on electricity consumption. Plus, and will be on the firing front, European Union's climate service says for the first time, global warming has exceeded 1.5 Celsius across an entire year. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, a mixture of tax abolishment and new policies to position Ghana for development. Those were the cruxes of the speech delivered on Wednesday by Vice President and flag-bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, on his vision for the country should he be elected into office as president. Mahamudu Bawumia of our political desk was there and reports.
He had been accused of remaining silent. His silence as head of the economic management team, many political watchers described as unpardonable. With the backdrop of a key cog in the 2016 electoral victory of the NPP, Dr. Bawumia minced no words in addressing perhaps the biggest elephant of them all, his role as a chair of the economic management team in the administration of the current government.
I was thankfully appointed as chairman of the economic management team. As a subcommittee to cabinet, we do not have any decision-making powers, but I am very proud of the quality of advice we have been providing over the years to cabinet.
Having touted the party's achievement and explaining reasons behind the current difficulties, he sought to espouse his own ideas. Critical among them, the abolishment of key tax handles.
The new policies that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes, such as the proposed VAT on electricity, if they are still on the books, the emissions tax and the betting tax, without compromising our fiscal deficit. Under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished.
For Bawumia, he would hit the ground running and not need a honeymoon.
I have clarity in my mind as to what I want to do from day one if you make me president. I will not ask for a honeymoon to cool off and think about what to do.
That report was filed by Mahamudu Bawumia, giving us a summary of what Dr. Bawumia talked about yesterday. Meanwhile, NPP General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong believes that Dr. Bawumia is the man to solve Ghana's challenges.
The difference is incontrovertibly clear. It's very clear. We don't need to even argue about it. Dr. Bawumia is very deep. He understands issues. He offers practical solutions to them.
And you heard the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia. I'm joined on the line now by political analyst, Dr. Kwame Asasante. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Your own assessment of the messages put out by the Vice President and flag-bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, yesterday.
Yes, listening to him, you realize that he touched on literally every aspect of our political and economic life And he touched on a lot of critical areas, which we are now seized with that information, and we are looking at it in much detail and see whether they reflect the type of messages that we need as a society to deal with our problems politically or economically.